peoples. It's a quick one. I was asked to reproduce on this my version of homemade tomato soup. Now, a lot of people want to come into our house. It's a good winter's evening, I'll have this. I usually have it frozen, so people just ask me how I do it. It's very, 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 very simple. Easiest thing in the world to do. And I'm just going to go quickly through how I do it. If you're wondering why I'm wearing a hat, by the way, it's because she scalped me and I'm fucking frozen. So that's why I'm wearing a hat. Anyway, I want to see what this camera, I don't know what it's doing. Can you see that? Oh, you can, right. So anyway, here we are. So what we do firstly is brown off onion in a heavy saucepan. Very important that you use a heavy base saucepan. And in the oven, I've got our tomatoes from the garden, as you can see, chopped up and salt and pepper with chorizo. Chorizo is great because it brings out the flavour of the tomato, and salt and pepper and the whole lot. And to add to that, I've made some stock. Now this is ordinary chicken stock that I use because I'm using chorizo, so it's not a vegetarian. Now if you're using it for a vegetarian, it's simple, just get rid of the chorizo, don't use it. Use vegetable stock instead of chicken stock, and tomatoes, onions, and just the best tip of the whole lot. I love to use my own out of the garden because it gives it a certain kind of a feel for here, but people tell me, and chefs tell me, and that the man that's been on television, the good lad I like, can never think of his name, tinned tomatoes are absolutely excellent for making a decent soup. So you have your onion, here it is here, I'm frying her off now, she's nearly ready. I'm going to add in a minute 3 tins of tomato stock, or tomato, chopped tomatoes in a tin, just that. It's already been salted and peppered, and I've got the chorizo and the tomato in the oven. So that's it, just bring it around, make sure it doesn't stir. You can't leave this because it will, now you see, somebody told me one time that you can always put more in, but you can't take it out. So this has to be done to your own taste. So if you're salt and peppering it, or maybe if you want a bit of a kick in it, and you're throwing in a little bit of chilli powder, don't put in too much. Just add it gradually to your own taste, and think of the kiddies, the family. They mightn't like it as hot as you do. I love lava. The hotter the better for me. But they mightn't like that. So here we go. We have the tomatoes on, we have the onion in, we have the stock ready here. Just plain stock that I made out of a bouillon. And I'm going to take out my tomatoes and chorizo now in a second. Here comes Mary Ellen. She caught me in the act, lads.
What are you doing? Trashing the kitchen?
Trashing the kitchen and making soup. I don't know who's there. Let it be there, Todd. Oh, there's a few. How are you, lads? Jesus Christ.
He doesn't like the kitchen being tidy. The minute I clean it, he messes it.
I do. Now, this is where I roast myself. So, out come the tomatoes and chorizo. There we are. Have a look at that. That's them there now. And we're going to, I bet you're all set. I bet you roast himself. I fucking hope I don't. So we're going to spoon that in there now.
Wouldn't be the first time.
No, it wouldn't be the first time you try it. I'm going to turn this off. Right. In goes your tomatoes and chorizo. Again. It's going to take a little minute, so we might just... See, remember I was telling you yesterday? Just while I'm doing this, I was in Newbridge in with the big V people of the phone world.
Oh,
and
Jesus, don't mention
what?
that. Don't mention that.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying how things can change. So I vowed I wouldn't go back near that crowd in Newbridge because the man was a disaster, and he was ignorant, and he knew as much about dealing with public as a pig does about sword fighting, and that's not an awful lot. But anyway, I got on to Vodafone, and I got a chap. I don't know where he was. He was somewhere down the country, maybe in another country, I'm not sure about that. But he couldn't have been any more helpful. He went through everything, he changed what I wanted to change. Your man demanded to see, in Newbridge he demanded to see my ID, And as I said to him, all my information's on the computer there in front of you, I can answer any questions you want. But no, he demanded. And then when I did show it to him, he says, you put that too near my face. And I says, if it was a few years ago, it'd have been a different story, horse. But I bit my tongue. But anyway, things can change, and all good now. We have it all sorted. But I never go back near Newbridge again. Not if my life depended on it. So here we are now, we're going great. We have all the tomatoes and the chorizo in the pot. She's bubbling nicely there. I'll show you now in 2 seconds. And now I'm going to give it a bit of a stir here. As I said to you, I have it salt and pepper. If you can get a look at that now, I'll just tilt it up for you to have a look at it. And you can see the way it is. Hold on now for half a second. I don't roast myself. Now you can see that. Nice colour. Chorizo on the tomato. By the way, I blend this. When I'm finished with this, doing it, I blend it. Even at the moment now, to taste, it's beautiful. Now, sometimes you get a little acidity. Is that what they call it? Acidity. With the tomatoes, and mightn't beat everybody's taste. So what you do there is add some sugar to taste as well. Taste it. You'll taste a little bit of acidity taste in it, and just add some caster sugar to it to get rid of the taste of the acid. And in now goes my ordinary chicken stock that I use, just chicken stock. And that will bring that up to the boil. And I let it simmer then for about half an hour, and then I blitz it. I'm not going to do it in a minute because this is still hot, but the tray itself, all the good juices are still in that. So you use them, definitely you use them. Now, if you go into a couple of our local places, if you go into Hearts, to the bakery there, and get yourself the fresh morning bread that they cook in there, you get up in the fucking middle of the night to eat that. It's fantastic. So with the fresh soup, and when you're serving it, and you have all the acidity, if I could say it, out of it, you can add a dollop of cream. Now, as you can see, just show you here, as you can see, I'm a little bit rounded, and that's all the cooking I do. You'll see a lot of the cooking that I do. I just show you that I've never done a cooking one before. But so that's it. That's my very simple recipe for tomato soup. It's not to everybody's liking, mind you. It's not to everybody's liking, but cold winter days coming in now. It's kind of a heartwarming homecoming sort of meal. So that's it. And my turf basket session will be returning in, Val tells me Halloween's the week after next. So the week after next, we'll do a little turf basket haunted hollow bit. And we hope you'll enjoy it, and we'll have a bit of crack. Anybody whose anniversaries are coming up, just let me know and we'll do it. So that's my little bit of cooking for the day, and I'll let you know how it turns out. But it usually turns out fabulous. And remember what I said, that the golden rule is, don't add too much because you can't take it out. Just put it in slightly, whether it's the chilli, whether it's the salt and pepper, whether it's the bouillon, add it in small quantities and then build up, and then you'll get it right. Now, people say, you didn't give any measurements. I don't use measurements. I just, what it looks like, what it tastes like, that's how I work. And I know it's not to everybody's taste that I do that, but I do. And that's there you are. Now she's hovering away there, as you can see, on the pot. And that's the last of the tomatoes. Some of them are still green, but we put them on the windowsill and they'll firm up. And everything is in now. The harvest is in. So God bless us. We will see you soon on the night of the turf basket sessions. And from the good sound engineer, she came in there for a minute and she threw in her top and sort. Now, as I said to you, this is just sitting up there. So that's it. I've no more to tell you. I'm going to pick this up now in a second if it's not too hot. I know you're all waiting for me to roast myself, but I'm not going to. So all the juices go in there. These are all I baked that in a little bit of, should have told you, I baked this in good olive oil. That's what it gets baked in. And I fried the tomatoes off in butter, because I like the flavour of them. So there we are. That's my recipe for homemade tomato soup. Try it and see what you think. I hope you enjoy it. Cheerio, bye. Have a good evening, peoples. God bless.